So we are starting the numerical on the topic refraction of light at plane surface. So refraction of light through a plane surface we are starting, and here is the first problem. The ratio of refractive index of red light to blue light in air is. The ratio of the refractive index of red light to the blue light in air is less than unity, equal to unity, greater than unity, less as well as greater than unity, depending upon the experimental arrangement. So student, I want to tell to you that we know that refractive index mu we can define the refractive index as speed of light in vacuum divided by speed of light in medium. We know that speed of light in vacuum will be c, which is 3 into 10 to the power 8 meter per second, and speed of light in medium we can denote that by v. Means our mu is inversely proportional to 1 by v, and since light has wave nature, so this v will be equals to nu lambda, where nu is your frequency and lambda is your wavelength. We know, or you will note down, that when light goes from one medium to another medium, its frequency does not change. But the wavelength changes. You will note down this. So your nu is inversely proportional to v, and velocity will be equals to nu lambda, which we can say that velocity is directly proportional to lambda. So we can say that our nu will be inversely proportional to lambda. And student, that if we are talking about ultraviolet rays, visible light and infrared rays. This ultraviolet rays, visible light and infrared rays. So this frequency of ultraviolet rays is greater than the frequency of that visible light, and frequency of visible light will be more than the infrared ray. Means frequency of ultraviolet rays will be the highest, then frequency of visible light will come, and that lowest is of infrared rays. So frequency of ultraviolet rays is highest, so lambda, wavelength of ultraviolet rays, will be the lowest, then visible light will come, and then infrared will come. So frequency of ultraviolet rays is lowest, frequency of that infrared rays is highest, frequency of ultraviolet rays is highest and frequency of infrared rays is lowest, then frequency will be inversely proportional to the lambda. So wavelength of ultraviolet rays will be less than the visible light and then infrared rays. So in the visible light, we know it will start visible light with GOR. So with GOR, so that our lambda will increase in this way, means lambda of red light will be more than the lambda of violet light. And obviously lambda of red will be more than the lambda of blue. So here the ratio of the refractive index of the red light to the blue light has been asked. So refractive index of the red light to the blue light has been asked to us. So refractive index of red light to the refractive index of the blue light has been, refractive index of the red light to the blue light has been asked to us. So refractive index of red light, we can say it is inversely proportional to the lambda. So it will be 1 by lambda of red divided by frequency of refractive index of blue light, we can write as a 1 upon lambda of blue. Means refractive index of red light to the refractive index of the blue light will become equals to lambda of blue divided by lambda of red. Since lambda of red light is more than the lambda of blue light, so this is more, this is less, so it will be less than unity. So the ratio of the refractive index of the red light to the blue light will be less than unity. Hence ratio of refractive index of red light to blue light will be less than unity. So your answer will be A answer, less than unity. Come to the second problem. The refractive index of a certain glass is 1.5 for light whose wavelength in vacuum is 6000 angstrom. The wavelength of this light when it passes through glass is. So here the problem is saying to us that suppose we have a glass and on this surface, this is a normal. For this glass, refractive index is your 1.5. Suppose a light ray is coming from air or vacuum whose wavelength of vacuum is given to us as our 6000 angstrom, and so it will bend towards the normal. From air to the glass it is coming, so refractive index of that air is your 1 and refractive index of that glass is 1.5. so refractive index of glass is more, so it will be dense, so it will bend towards the normal. So what will be the wavelength in glass has been asked to us. So we know, student, that refractive index of that vacuum to the refractive index of that glass, the ratio of these two we can write as our refractive index of that vacuum will be what? 1 divided by wavelength in vacuum. We know that nu is here inversely proportional to the wavelength. So, and the refractive index of that glass will be 1 upon lambda of glass. So we can write refractive index of that vacuum to the refractive index of that glass as equals to the wavelength of that glass divided by wavelength in vacuum. So that refractive index of that vacuum or air, we know that will be equals to 1, and refractive index of that glass has been given to us, that is equals to 1.5. and what is the next thing is given to us? That wavelength in that vacuum is that 6000 angstrom. So these three things has been given to us. So fourth thing has been asked to us. So refractive index of that vacuum is your 1, refractive index of that glass is 1.5 has been given to us, wavelength in that glass medium has been asked to us, and wavelength in that vacuum is your 6000 angstrom. So that wavelength in glass medium will come out 6000 divided by 1.5, it will come out 4000 angstrom. This answer A is your correct answer. Now come to the third numerical. A light wave has a frequency of 4 into 10 to power 14 Hertz and a wavelength of 5 into 10 to power minus 7 meter in medium. The refractive index of the medium. So we know that refractive index of the medium is the speed of light in vacuum or air, you can say, divided by speed of light in medium. So that we can denote the speed of light in air or vacuum as C, and the speed of light in a medium is V. So light have both particle nature and wave nature. So light wave has been given to us. So this velocity will be equals to frequency multiplied by wavelength. That is, our V will be equals to frequency nu times wavelength. So we will put the values. So our refractive index will come out C upon nu lambda. The value of C is your 3 into 10 to power 8. Frequency has been given to us, that is 4 into 10 to power 14 Hertz multiplied by wavelength is your 5 into 10 to power minus 7. So which will give us 3 into 10 to power 8 divided by this 4 5s are 20 into 14 minus 7 is 10 to power 7. So this we can write as our 3 into 10 to power 8. 20 as we can write as your 2 into 10. So 2 into 10, the 10 into 10 to power 7 will become 10 to power 8. So this will get cancelled out. This will come out as equals to 1.5. So your answer A will be correct. Now come to the fourth problem, which is a good problem, important type of problem, that how much water should be filled in a container 20 centimeter height so that it appears half filled when viewed from the top of a container, given that mu of water, mu W, is equals to your 4 by 3. So a container is given to us which have the height of 21 centimeter. This height is your 21 centimeter. In this, the problem is asking us that how much water should be filled, that how much water you will fill when when an observer at the top will look at from the top, will appear that it will be the half filled. So for that, student, we know that a formula of that apparent depth and the real depth, that suppose this is a kind of the medium, or you can say as your water is there. So mu of water, you can say, here is the mu of air is given to us. So mu of water we can say as your mu of I, and mu of air you can say as your mu of R. Why? Because in this derivation you will look that if an object is placed here, so we will drop a normal here. So suppose from this object a light ray is going to this surface, so after striking to the surface, it is a medium in which this is the incident light ray, this is I. So that is why we are saying as your mu W is equals to mu I. Mu I means that refractive index of the medium in which the incident ray is present, and mu of air is that your mu of R, refractive index of that medium in which the refracted ray is present. So this will go away from the normal because it is going from water to the air. Air is your rarer medium, water is your denser medium. So from denser to the rarer it is going, so it will bend away from the normal. So suppose if an observer is placed here, so he will appear this object here. Here the image of this object O will be formed, and when will you derive the formula, since we are doing the numerical, so we will not go to the theory. So in that this is, suppose this is your V, this is your V, and this is your U. U is your object distance, V is your image distance. So V will come out equals to your mu I upon mu R upon mu I is equals to your mu R upon mu I times U. Again I am writing V, which is apparent depth. V will be called as your apparent depth, U will be called as your real depth, so actual depth. So it will be mu R upon mu I times the real depth. So here mu I is that medium in which that incident ray is present, mu R is that medium in which the refractive index is present. We will denote it in this way so that you can find the easiness while doing the numerical. I will solve more numerical, so you will apply these things in this way. So this was our formula. If mu R is your air, mu R in which refractive index of that medium in which that refracted ray is present. So this is incident ray, this is your refracted ray. So refracted ray is present in your air. So mu R will be equals to your mu of air, that will be equals to your 1, and mu I is the refractive index of the medium in which the incident ray is present. that is mu of water, and mu of water we can denote by that mu. So this formula will become V is equals to U divided by mu. So many of the person will tell you in this way. So from where it has come, I have told to you. The meaning is that your apparent depth will be equals to your actual depth divided by nu, refractive index of the medium. So from where this formula has come, I have derived here. You can go to the derivation, but remember these things which I have told to you. So this formula we will apply here, and the problem is saying to us that a container is there which has the height of 21 centimeter, and that how much water in this should be filled so that an observer which is at the top of it will appear it is half filled. So let water is filled at a distance of x. Let the water is filled up to a height of x. So this is x, this one is 21. So this will become what? 21 minus x. तो ये 21 माइनस एक्स हो जाएगा. तो जो हमारा अब जब ऑब्जर्वर इसको देखेगा तो हमारा अपरेंट डेप्थ कितना होना चाहिए? ये x का अपरेंट डेप्थ क्या हो जाएगा? अपरेंट डेप्थ हो जाएगा एक्चुअल डेप्थ डिवाइडेड बाय न्यू. यहाँ पे एयर है इसलिए न्यू आया है. अगर एयर नहीं होता, कोई और मीडियम होता, तो हम कौन सा फॉर्मूला अप्लाई करते? ये. अगर एयर आ गया है तब ये वाला फॉर्मूला फाइंड करो. वाटर है और एयर है, एक मीडियम एयर हो गया तो हम ये वाला फॉर्मूला अप्लाई किए. अगर एक मीडियम एयर नहीं हो तो हम ये वाला फॉर्मूला अप्लाई करेंगे. तो अपरेंट डेप्थ यहाँ से क्या हो जाएगा? एक्चुअल डेप्थ हमारा x है, x डिवाइडेड बाय न्यू. और ये जो अपरेंट डेप्थ है, जो अपरेंट डेप्थ इसको अपीयर होगा, अगर वो उसको 21 माइनस एक्स के, अगर जो अपरेंट डेप्थ हो रहा है वो उस 21 माइनस एक्स के इक्वल रख दें. जब यहाँ से ऑब्जर्वर देखेगा, जब उसको हाफ फील्ड होगा तो उसको जहाँ पे जो अपरेंट डेप्थ आएगी वो अपरेंट डेप्थ क्या होगी? वो एयर के बराबर होने जानी चाहिए. जो खाली है उसके इक्वल हो जाना चाहिए. तो अपरेंट डेप्थ किसके इक्वल हो जाना चाहिए? 21 माइनस एक्स. जो हमारा अपरेंट डेप्थ आएगा इसका, वो किसके इक्वल हो जाना चाहिए? 21 माइनस एक्स के इक्वल. मतलब हमारा वाटर न रहे, जितना खाली है वही रहे, तभी ना इसको जो अपरेंट डेप्थ होगा वो 21 माइनस एक्स के इक्वल होगा, तभी ना उसको खाली खाली दिखेगा. ये हाफ फील्ड दिखेगा इसको. कब हाफ फील्ड दिखेगा? जब ये 21 माइनस एक्स के जो अपरेंट डेप्थ है वो 21 माइनस एक्स के इक्वल हो जाएगा. यानी एक्स अपॉन न्यू शुड बी इक्वल टू व्हाट? 21 माइनस एक्स. एक्स का वैल्यू हमें पता करना है. न्यू का वैल्यू हमको दिया हुआ है कितना? 4/3. सो we'll put 4/3 here. That should be equal to what? 21 minus x. So from here it will get 3x upon 4 plus x is equals to 21. So it will become 7x upon 4 is equals to 21. Means x will come out 12 centimeter. यहाँ से हम ये करते हैं कि जितना खाली प्लेस है उसको हम पता कर लेते हैं, फिर जितने हाइट तक का दिया रहता है ऑब्जेक्ट उसका अपरेंट डेप्थ निकालते हैं, और अपरेंट डेप्थ को जितना खाली जगह है उसके इक्वल रहेगा, तभी ना हम कह सकेंगे कि यहाँ तक एयर था, वाटर यहाँ तक नहीं था, तो उसको हम इक्वल रख देंगे तो हमें ये पता चल जाएगा। अब एक फिफ्थ प्रॉब्लम कह रहा है कि लाइट ऑफ डिफरेंट कलर्स प्रोपोगेट्स थ्रू एयर with the velocity of air, with the different velocity, with the velocity of sound having equal velocity। तो एयर में जो लाइट होती है वो स्पीड ऑफ जो लाइट होती है वो 3×10⁸ होती है। तो कौन सा ऑप्शन सही होगा? विद द वेलोसिटी ऑफ एयर। लुक स्टूडेंट, कंफ्यूज मत होइएगा, विद द वेलोसिटी ऑफ एयर, एयर की वेलोसिटी से मूव करेगा नहीं, एयर की वेलोसिटी तो अलग अलग हो सकती है ना। वेलोसिटी ऑफ लाइट इन एयर कुछ और बात है, लेकिन वेलोसिटी ऑफ एयर कुछ और है। वेलोसिटी ऑफ एयर मतलब एयर की वेलोसिटी, और वेलोसिटी ऑफ लाइट इन एयर मीडियम वो कुछ और अलग बात है। तो ये आप टिक मत करिएगा कि वेलोसिटी ऑफ एयर, एयर की वेलोसिटी से तो मूव नहीं करेगा, डिफरेंट वेलोसिटी से मूव करेगा नहीं। विद द वेलोसिटी ऑफ साउंड, साउंड की भी वेलोसिटी से मूव नहीं करेगा। हैविंग इक्वल वेलोसिटी, यस ट्रू। कितनी वेलोसिटी होगी? 3×10⁸। और सारे जो कलर्स की जो लाइट रहेगी, जितने भी डिफरेंट कलर्स की जो लाइट होंगी उनका वेवलेंथ डिफरेंट होगा, लेकिन उनका जो एयर में वेलोसिटी होता है वो हमेशा सेम आता है, वो होता है 3×10⁸। तो वेलोसिटी ऑफ कलर्स does not depend on wavelength in air। मतलब जो एयर में होता है वो एयर में जो वेलोसिटी होती है वो वेवलेंथ पे डिपेंड नहीं करती है, वो सेम रहती है, जो कि 3×10⁸ है। तो विद द वेलोसिटी ऑफ एयर आप टिक कर सकते हैं, लेकिन वेलोसिटी ऑफ एयर से थोड़ी ऊपर, जो एयर की वेलोसिटी होगी उससे थोड़ा करता है। ठीक है, आज यहीं तक रहने देते हैं, आगे से हम ज़्यादा न्यूमेरिकल करेंगे, आज 5 ही रहने देते हैं।